My father was a circus artist. He used to work on high rope and to be a clown. And so it's 42 years now and I'm involved in circus. I have been in traditional circus until 10 years ago, and that was why I was very tired with traditional circus, you know. And I thought to work with new circus, to create a new concept of circus. That was the beginning of our chaos. So the story of circus is inside your heart.
To create a crazy British show. I mean, I actually want to take the Circus of Horrors to France and to Germany. You know, and I mean, London and Britain, it's the language people speak now, English. They associate it with music, fashion and wonderful eccentrics, and that's really what I want to do. I mean, I'd like to do a crazy gang circus, but I don't believe it's quite enough. I think you've actually got to shock people a little bit, haven't you? You've got to make them read about it. I mean, I'm hoping with the homework that one or two other unusual circuses, especially Archaeus, have done.
6-6 to Transylvania. Welcome to the Circus of Horrors.
May your Lord be with you.
Than a band. They're a very interesting band, Hayes versus the X Factor. Hayes is, you know, obviously the main man, and apparently he's an illusionist as well. Keeps live snakes and sleeps in a coffin, all sorts of stuff. You know, all very tongue-in-cheek, all very kind of...
Very Alice Cooper. Been done before.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. But, you know, why not? Let's have more fun in rock and roll, you know. But it is a show. They did, they joined up with Jerry Cottle's Circus at Glastonbury and did 3 whole days at Glastonbury, which apparently was fantastic. There's fire eating and there's just all sorts of stuff going down. It's very kind of gothy, very macabre, but completely tongue-in-cheek. They hire vampires and...
So rock musicians are replacing the animals at the circus
fun.
these
Absolutely,
days,
absolutely. You know, this is great fun circus with no cruelty to animals. Yeah. Just a bit of fire eating and stuff like that. But
they went down well at Glastonbury.
They went down fantastically well. In October, I think it is, they've got 3 weeks in the West End doing a sort of combined thing with Jerry Cottle, which again is going to be very exciting. It's not at all cabaret, it is rock and roll. They did a cover last year of Monster Mash. Remember the old hit?
Yes.
Which wasn't a hit for them. Should have been, because it would have been exactly the right kind of thing, you know. But they are
Boris
flashy
somebody in the
and...
Crypt Kickers, I seem to remember. Wasn't it?
Yes, I think it probably was, actually.
Oh, showing the age.
But check them out. I think they're going to be big.
Good stuff. Well, we should...
The circus is in town, but it's not quite what you would expect. All ye who enter the Circus of Horrors, prepare to be scared.
Welcome to the Circus of Horrors. We would like to warn persons of the audience of nervous disposition that they will find the show disturbing.
It's a circus that's based in the year 2020 after Holocaust, and it's a circus that's escaped the nuclear holocaust. This is all that's left, and all the mutants and various different corpses are performing all the circus acts. It's definitely not for the faint-hearted, not for the squeamish. There's a lot of aerial acts, but not so many traditional trapeze acts. We've gone for unusual type trapeze acts, really.
The music and soundtrack were written by Dr. Hayes himself to create a cross between Rocky Horror and Mad Max, with a nod to every horror movie ever made. The show was directed by the maker of the controversial new circus Chaos that shocked spectators with acts like juggling with chainsaws. With raunchy dancing and flaming limbo, he thinks this new circus has a place in the future.
The older generation of circus, they react very well for good reasons, and they count how many people we have in the tent, and they make the calculation with the ticket price, and they can see that we earn more money in new circus than in traditional circus.
The traditional techniques on the trapeze and high wire are still very much part of the new circus, as well as illusions that defy explanation.
So people come along, sit in the audience and be scared.
They do be scared, but a lot more to it than that. You actually take part. This is the Circus of Horrors, and there's loads of audience participation. And you're no exception. Sinbad, I'd like you to take one of those daggers out of your belt. He's going to place this one down his throat.
Oh, don't.
You can hold it straight down his throat, then he'll bend his head forward, so it actually comes out of his neck at the back.
I don't have to do this.
You'd like to withdraw that from his throat.
What?
Just pull it straight out, nice and slowly again.
To move.
Don't be frightened.
Oh.
And remember, kiddies, don't try this at home.
All the lights are good and that. The motorbikes, and I wouldn't do it. I didn't think it would be really scary or anything. It was. It was good. But it didn't scare me very much.
Oh, it's really scary. I was petrified.
It's a bit different and a little bit scary in some places, especially when they're chopping people's limbs off and things, but it's good.
All the performers have trained for years in the tradition of the circus to perform these frightful feats. It's definitely not something you can try at home.
I started circus life as a fire eater actually when I was 12, and then I became a horse trainer and ringmaster, and did various other things in the circus. You have to do everything. But I left after a few years because I wanted to have a bash at rock and roll, really. And this was a great way of combining the two.
It was the Circus of Horrors. Enter if you dare.
Most vampires are safely back in their coffins by dawn, but aboard the Pride of Dracula, the undead just won't lie down. They've brought a circus to town, but lock up your children. This is one show you probably won't be wanting your own little horror to see.
If you're prepared to let your kids go on a 2-hour ghost train ride or prepared to let them watch horror films, then they'll love the Circus of Horrors.
So welcome to the kingdom of pain and pleasure, a land of pygmy flesh-eaters, vampires and voodoo dancers. It's Sin City, a show to shock, and is directed by the man behind the legendary French chainsaw-slinging circus Chaos.
You will see in this show things that we have never seen before, and it's a new use of circus, music and illusions. That's very interesting.
If you've got the guts, then the Circus of Horrors will be here at Brighton Racecourse until December the 3rd. But best leave your grandmother at home. In Hell Corner, the Meridian News.
Jerry Cottle. They've set up in Crystal Palace and they've got everything they need for their nasty vision of the future except one thing: vampires. And so they're holding vampire auditions.
We're always short of vampires. They're not immortal. They're an endangered species. Everybody thinks they're immortal, but they are an endangered species.
What blood group did you say were? AB positive. Oh no, that's too rare for me.
Why do you want to be a vampire?
I'm the bride of Dracula from Transylvania. Give me your blood.
Each vampire was examined closely to see if they come up to scratch, and then they had to improvise what a vampire would do in the show. Though I reckon some of the vampires are in with a better chance than others. You know, you'd have to be an absolute idiot to do stuff like that, wouldn't you?
Good thinking!
Oh no, I wish I'd kept my mouth shut. Oh my God. Crystal Palace, this is Vince Rogers for London Tonight.
That's it. Thanks for watching.
See you tomorrow.
Good night.
For many who'd seen the show at its first venue in Brighton, it was less a case of sinking your teeth into something new and more a response to a calling from the beyond.
I've always loved horror films and Dracula, etc. I came to see the show in Brighton, where I live, and I just loved it. I thought it was great fun. And when I found there was auditions going, I just thought, well, I can't resist, I've got to go for that.
Circus of Horrors is essentially a variation on an age-old theme, with motorbikes on high wires and limbo dancers getting on down underneath chainsaws and burning bamboo. It's the risque element that adds the gloss, which is most likely to offend. But as circus ringmaster Dr. Hayes is keen to point out, there are some families for whom it's wholesome entertainment.
It's fun for all the family, as long as your name's Adams.
The show, which munches its way through 2 gallons of stage blood every night, opens on the 21st of December and is looking for friends of the undead until well into the new year. Sacha Van Straten, Channel 1, Crystal Palace.